So let's talk about perfectionism, because this is the most insidious and widespread problem that I see. I see it so much among successful high achievers. We have such a fear of showing our imperfection. And I think that it's truly a fear of love being taken away. Like we're only lovable if we're perfect. Mayan, you see you shaking your head. Like our love is conditional. So if we're not perfect, we don't get the love. And if we make people think that we're perfect, and then we, write a memoir or something that lets them see that we're not perfect, or we do some project that we're really honest and they see our humanity, we're afraid of that love being withdrawn. So last week I was working with a client of mine who was really battling with perfection, and she just said, "Oh, it's no big deal. I should just brush it off." And I said, "Are you kidding? It's the biggest deal, because it's life or death if you think that love is going to be withdrawn. If that's the body sensation you have, that if I'm not lovable, I won't be cared for. I won't be taken care of, like from the time we were kids, or a baby, whatever it was. If that for a child is life or death, they have to be lovable, so somebody will take care of them. So we're not children anymore. But if there's a vestige of that, we need to take it really seriously. Not that we have to believe it, but we can't just say, "Oh, just go away." That's not true. I know that that's not true. So like knowing that it's not true isn't enough. We have to go deeper with it. So when someone tells me they procrastinate, or they jump from thing to thing, or they don't make time to do their creative work, really almost every single time what it boils down to is perfectionism. Like what's keeping them from sitting down, what I call the butt in the chair, it's keeping them from completing projects, from really doing projects, is this fear of not doing it well and not doing it perfectly. So it's like, if you don't have 100% guarantee that you can do it, that it's going to be amazing, you don't want to try and fail. You don't want to look bad. You don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be humiliated. You just don't want to make yourself that vulnerable, because it's not worth it. So it's kind of this catch-22, because before you do it, you don't know if it's going to be good. You're not confident that it's going to be good. And then without that confidence, it's just not worth the fallout of showing yourself. What's the solution to perfectionism? Of course, I mean, there's a piece we could talk about. It's always good to have, work with a therapist or somebody who really can help you heal some of those early things. And that, sort of getting in touch with yourself and your own healing is always helpful for everything, including the creative process. And the piece that I work with is volume. The solution for perfectionism is volume. The challenge is to find somebody because we got to get you working consistently. So why is it so important to me that you work consistently? Because volume is how you overcome this perfectionism. So I used to be in a perfectionist cycle. Again, it's like, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to write. I'm not going to write. It was off and on for years and years until I made a commitment. The commitment that I made was that in the year 2013, I just had an idea one day and I put it on Facebook. And the idea was I was going to release a song and a music video every single month for a year. And like, I didn't have the right camera. I didn't really know about music videos. I'd only done this one other music video, but I was like on the hook. And I just started. And I was like, every month I had this deadline that I was going to do this video. And I did that for a year. And then I was like, I think I haven't learned everything I need to learn from this. So I did it for 2 years. And then I did it for 3 years. And then I did it for over 4 years. I did a new song, the new music video every single month. And that is how I learned that this volume of just the commitment is what gets you out of this cycle of perfectionism, especially if you're on the sidelines and you're not like even in the, I always think of the metaphor, like, are you in the game, right? Like, are you in the court? Are you in the ball game? For some reason in my mind, it's a basketball game every time I think about this. Like, are you on the bench kind of just like, no, I'm not good enough, I'm just going to sit here? Or are you like in the game? Because the issues that come up on the bench are not the same issues that come up when you're in the game. When you're like, all right, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Then you have a whole host of other things you're going to learn. But you don't get to learn any of those until you get in the game, until you make a commitment to say, I'm going to be in the game. Whether I'm the best, whether I'm Michael Jordan. I wish I knew the name of a WNBA player. I would use a woman's name if I knew anybody. But you know, whether I'm like the best or whether I'm like the worst on the team, I'm getting in the game. Like regardless of the quality, we're just going to be doing that. So there's so much healing that happens through that volume, mainly because you're in the game. And again, new things are going to come up that you're going to have to learn. But that is the antidote to the perfectionism.